Do it.
He has time.
He's
Off
got
the left side. Dobbs is there. Leaping grab. Touchdown. Touchdown.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Ken and Ken in the Morning, minus one of the Kens.
Yeah, why'd you invite Joe again?
All right, well, Nick, since you were the first one to speak, how you doing this morning?
Great, this is Nick, Mr. Four Computers, baby. What's going on?
Rob, how's it going down the Texas way?
It's going good, man. Going good. Staying out of trouble. Yeah, I'm keeping up on my clickbait.
A lot better than your weather's been the past couple of days.
Yeah, no, today's nice and sunny. It's warming back up. It'll be back in the 70s today. I mean, I know you guys are jealous. Most of you got snow or wherever the hell you're at.
Dom, how's everything after the storms cleared?
Man, my car, my right mirror, I guess it got smacked by something with the storm and everything. So that shit's busted. So, but we good over here.
You should sue the state.
And now let's welcome Darren to the podcast for his first time. How you doing today, buddy?
What's up, man? Doing pretty good.
That's good to hear. Hey, Joe, we got you riding in the car today.
Yeah, I'm dropping my daughters off at school.
Oh, fun, doing the dad thing.
Yeah, pops right there.
All right. Well, let's hop in right to one of the topics already. And the Jets believe that ex-wide receiver McCole Hardman had leaked the team's game plans to the Kansas City Chiefs and Philadelphia Eagles before Gang Green's games against them last October. Now, the thing about that is it was supposedly he was upset after Rodgers was injured with his usage, and he was hamming it in. And there's also, they're looking into a tampering charge against the Kansas City Chiefs because he was supposedly in contact, which this obviously is alluding to. Now, Nick, what do you think about this whole Hardman situation?
If that's true, I don't see how he doesn't get suspended or some huge fine of some sort. Like, let's be honest, that's beyond tampering. That's cheating right there. Like, what? Who does that? I've never even heard of that before.
Oh, yeah. This is my first time hearing of something like it, too.
Do you think that other players, like, do this on the daily? Do you think this is something that happens more often than we think?
Probably.
No, I don't think it's a common occurrence, but I definitely bet that there's some guys out there that
I'll bet you the Lions players bet on it too, man.
The sad thing is they're probably going to lose that gamble.
And I think if Kansas City gets found guilty, they should lose their next 2 first-round draft picks.
No, for real though, that's crazy.
That is sad.
That's beyond tampering, in my opinion. That's something a lot bigger. Like, I could see him being suspended for a whole year.
He should be blackballed from the fucking league, bro.
Yeah.
Could you ever trust him to be on your team again? Could you ever trust a guy?
Yeah, just a lot.
No. Hey, how about this one?
Jets were up. They were doing pretty damn good.
How about this one?
Everything.
If Kansas City won the Super Bowl the year that this happened, they have to forfeit the Super Bowl.
Oh,
You just want them to have.
If the Patriots didn't have to forfeit any of theirs, I highly doubt this will get the Chiefs to forfeit theirs.
But they did. They did lose draft picks, though. They did lose draft picks.
Yeah,
they do it in college.
Yeah, but college. That's
I know. I know they're not going to take away Patty's precious rings. I was just throwing it out there, as a potential
No,
punishment.
Side note,
just because you said that, Joe, you're automatically giving them an extra fucking Super Bowl this year.
You're a lifelong hater, Joe. Lifelong hater.
Hey, dude, I'm a Raider fan, so what else can I be but a lifelong?
I hear you,
You know
bro. I hear
what?
you, bro.
you know what? As Packers fans, we have to root hardcore for the Chiefs not to win anymore. Because if they do, they'll tie
Yes.
us. We can't
They're
have
gonna
that.
catch us. They're gonna catch us.
Yeah,
But
All right.
No, I think they
Well,
already.
I
I,
was
think
just
they already
thinking-
have tied you.
While we were talking about it, I was really just thinking, like, I wonder if there was Lions players betting on these fourth downs that they were going for. Is that why they're doing it so often?
Bro.
Hey, they already did tie you, Nick.
The coach
The
was
Chiefs
doing
have
it.
4 Super Bowls now.
The Chiefs won 2 with Mahomes. Oh, he won 3,
No,
huh?
they-
And they got
They
that
won
one.
3
And
with
yeah,
Mahomes, and
yeah,
you got that
He's got
one.
3 with
that's
Len
right. He's
Dawson.
got 3. Well, then they'll have more. We definitely can't have that.
Yeah.
Hey, but
All
the
right,
more I think about it, the more I think Ken is right, and instead of punishing them, they'll probably just give them another ring.
Probably.
All right, there, Darren. What do you think about this McCall Hardman?
They'll praise
stuff?
their initiative.
Is Darren there?
Do we have
He's
a Darren?
muted, bro. He's muted. He's
Okay,
muted. I don't
well,
think-
we're gonna go with Dom then.
He should be suspended, and the Chiefs need to get checked. Also, lose a draft pick or something. I don't know, like if it that intense, but something needs to happen because that's not right. Like if you watch those games, the Jets were actually doing pretty well until mid third quarter, and then you just started seeing their game plan fail. It was going down and everything like that. So I don't know. I wouldn't want that guy on my team, like Nick said, because that's bad mojo right there. That's bad energy. What's he doing behind your back? Like he letting your secrets out, or other things going on?
What if you don't throw the ball to him on one play? He gets all pissed off, and he doesn't even have to be a big thing. Just says something to the corner that, hey, this is what we're trying to do, and just throws it in the tank.
Did you see what the Jets punter said last night?
No.
Let's come back to Hardman. He said something about you're mad because you got beat out by a rookie. Don't listen to a disgruntled employee, basically. I can pull it up.
Bro, still, there's something to be. I mean,
Be
dude
careful getting information from disgruntled former employees. Getting beat out by a rookie free agent after being guaranteed millions of dollars is tough to deal with. Entitlement is a killer of opportunities. You have to earn it. You have to earn it every year. And he didn't. He got lazy. He got paid like most NFL players do. And he slumped. He thought, okay, I got the juice because I have a Super Bowl ring. No,
he's on Front Street now. He's on Front Street. He ain't liking it.
You're gonna be suspended, buddy.
Yeah, he should be. He should be fucking kicked out of the league.
Yeah.
He should never play for another team again.
You get my boy, but Calvin Ridley, you suspend him
That's
for
fucking
gambling.
betrayal, bro. That's just out betrayal,
This
bro.
bullshit.
That's just, man.
I think that an investigation will definitely be opened, like a full-blown investigation now, because like I'm saying, I think it makes everyone wonder now, like, does this happen often? Because if it does, that's a huge problem in the league. If that's the thing.
Not only is that a breach of your contract, because I'm pretty sure in the NFL contract it says you can't do that, bro.
I don't think the NFL wants that kind of negative publicity of finding out that it happens more than this, though. I think that they'll try to.
You're right about that. You're right
they'll
about
try
that.
to brush this off as an isolated incident. He'll get suspended. But the real story here is the Chiefs, man. Like, I was just thinking about it. If you take a first-round draft pick away from the defending Super Bowl champions, that's a slap on the wrist, dude. Honestly, I don't know what you could do to them that would make them actually feel it, to be honest with you.
And what sucks for McCall Hardman isn't good enough to where suspending him is a big deal. You know what I mean? It's like, so some bum is gone now.
He's not even a 4. He's probably a 3 or 4, maybe.
I'd rather have Juju Smith-Schuster right now than this bum.
Right.
That's
Right.
bad.
Right.
Hold on. What makes all this even more interesting is McCall Hardman's a free agent. Right, we're going right now.
He's going to stay a free
And
agent.
he'll stay a free agent.
Stay that way. He's
You can't get
unemployed, bro.
suspended if
He's
you're sitting on your
unemployable.
couch.
Dom's got a hell of a point.
Yo,
You
that
can't get suspended on your couch.
Twitter. But yeah, I don't know.
He'll be
That's
playing
why
in the
he's free.
CFL next year.
Seriously,
So, like,
miss
Like you guys brought up Calvin
misunderstanding.
Ridley. Calvin Ridley missing, what was it? I think he got suspended for like 10 games or something like that.
No, it
Yeah,
was a full
something
year.
like that.
That's
I think he
huge.
purposely, like, I'm not gonna, but there, I think he did that on purpose, obviously, for that
But
season.
that's a huge deal. Suspending Calvin Ridley is a big deal to his career. Whereas for this dude, he's going to be a free agent. He's not going to get a job now. Like, this really isn't a big deal. For him, I'm sure it is. But for the league, it means nothing because he's not good enough. For Calvin Ridley to miss a whole season, that's a big deal in the league. That's
to set an example. But listen, it didn't work because look at Jameson Williams and all of them who gambled. Some people, got cut and all that, but they allowed Jameson Williams back before his suspension was up.
Well, because he's not that good either.
Yeah, he's dirty.
Yeah,
Like,
but they
he's
let-
not dirty in the good way. I mean, I'm like,
Originally, they had Williams out for 4 games. They still gave him 2 games back. He only missed a couple games. He didn't even serve the full suspension.
I think he missed like 2 or 3 games, right? Something like that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's it. That's all it was. He had a 4-game suspension. They took two away and gave him 2. That was it. That's all he missed.
My point is like what Joe was saying. Like, what could you even do at this point? Because it really doesn't matter what you do to McCole Hardman at all. It really doesn't. And if you take a draft pick away from the Chiefs, they just won the Super Bowl again, and they're looking to do it again regardless of that draft pick being missed. So there's nothing substantial you could do as far as punishment that's actually going to be like earth-shaking. You know what I mean?
Well, there is, but it would have to be like revolutionary, dude. You're talking about you would have to come down with like the hardest punishment in the history of the NFL to make them feel it, dude.
Yeah, there's no precedent for that right now. So,
okay,
I mean,
so
it's not really that big of a deal.
what I meant was something that the NFL is actually willing to do, because we all know that they're not going to do that. We know that there's not going to be like, we're taking your Super Bowl away, or you forfeit the first 4 games. Like, they're not going to do something like that.
Yeah.
no, NFL's a business, so you can't ruin the business. They'll do something, but it will be like severe.
Oh yeah, exactly. There's no way in hell.
This is like breach of contract, man. This is like totally so
Oh,
much
yeah.
on it.
They're not going to sit there and shoot themselves in the foot by doing anything to the Chiefs with the insane amount of money that they keep bringing in.
And that's what it is. The Chiefs made them money this year, so the NFL probably really doesn't even give a shit that this happened.
Right.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Take it or leave it, right?
They'll do
I
something
think that they
where
would have to do something. I think they would have to do something revolutionary, like take an entire draft and like find them, but not find them like not find the team, but take cap space.
Yeah, hey, I think that one might actually be
like we're gonna find you 60 million in cap space, so now we're gonna basically blow up your team.
Or everybody gets the extra cap this year, but the Chiefs because of this.
Yeah. Hey, these are definitely scenarios because
players.
We got to do something over it because otherwise you're going to get teams that are trying to incentivize their former players to do this shit if they know they're disgruntled.
Shit, Sean Payton was suspended for a whole year for the bounty gate, so I don't see why this is any different. Andy Reid might get in trouble for this.
Hola.
Andy Reid's retiring, ain't he?
Hola,
no, Reid is not retiring now.
Oh, he's not. Because he wants to go for that three-peat.
Yep.
So what if you suspend Andy Reid for a whole year? McCole Hardman doesn't matter. McCole Hardman does not matter in this factor. But if you suspend Reid for a year, dude, that hurts them dramatically. That's a big deal.
Oh, absolutely. Them losing a head coach, any team losing a head coach is going to be bad. But somebody that is that important to the league in general, that's going to send shockwaves through. That nobody, even if a disgruntled former player calls up and says something, that they're going to even take the call at that point. They're going to be, fuck you, this ain't worth my job.
Here's another thing is that obviously in order for McCole Hardman to leak it, he leaked it through players. He leaked it through people that he knew from the team from when he played, right?
Well, not even necessarily players. He still would have all the coaches' fucking numbers.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they should do an investigation. They should, get his cell phone records, get all that stuff. And if they find that there were players involved, any player that was involved should get suspended for the whole year. The coach should get suspended for the whole year. Like, you have to hand out suspensions like it's, like it's candy at this point.
Hey, that's what I was about to say.
And they can't just be 3 or 4 game suspensions. Like, they got to be serious suspensions in order for you to try to deter this from happening again. Because this goes into, like, the one thing that the NFL cares about more than anything else is money, right? But the second thing that they care about is, I'm not going to say the integrity of the game, because we obviously know they don't care about the integrity of the game, but the NFL pretends to care about the integrity.
Yeah.
And so if they have it, if it's being publicly perceived that they're allowing cheating, it's going to affect their bottom line, which they do care about. And so I think they're going to have to come down hard on this,
Yeah, and then not only that, but it's going to massively undermine their rules against the players gambling at team facilities on different teams or the X, Y, and Z. Because, hey, what does it matter if I gamble if this some bitch is leaking the whole game plan? But that's Isaac, since you just hopped on the panel, what do you think about the Mecole Hardman situation, I guess we'll call it?
Well, yeah, I read a little bit about it yesterday. That's pretty damaging to, at least the Chiefs' perspective. Anytime a player does this, there might be some friction that's going on within, even though they just won a Super Bowl and should be celebrated. It kind of puts a little damper on this little parade, because if you have players doing this internal things, it really damages the outlook of everything.
But what makes it worse too? Everybody bitching about the no holding calls on the Chiefs. Like, are they cheating for the Chiefs? Like, all this stuff that just happened that everyone was just talking about, and then this comes out.
Coincidentally.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is that I find it crazy to believe the last 3 years of them being in the Super Bowl and them winning things, that they have no holding calls at all in every single
during the playoffs. Only during the playoffs.
Yeah,
only during the playoffs.
And you can see evidence, you can go back in the tape and see a lot of fucking plays where the Chiefs O-line is holding people. You know what I mean?
Everything that you just said is something that probably wouldn't have been talked about nearly as much again. Like, we all bitch about it and then we move on, right? Now it's everyone, even the people that were like, I don't know if I believe that. They're now going to sit there and go, damn, I actually think that this is starting to become a conspiracy all of a sudden. Like, these dudes are blatantly cheating, man.
Do we get a retread of Goodell and Brady with Deflategate with Goodell and Mahomes?
No. Mahomes is the golden boy. They'll find
Mahomes gives up his phone. I think Mahomes gives up his phone.
I think Mahomes he'll get shielded from any sort of blame for this whole thing. He makes them too much money. They'll find a sacrificial lamb on the Chiefs. It'll come out that it was some player. You know what I mean?
So
it'll come out.
I'm not shocked when people come out and say Brady cheated. Like, I look at this dude's smug face and I go, he looks like a cheater. But
fucking A, bro.
I actually would not be shocked if Mahomes had nothing to do with this at all. I really wouldn't. He doesn't.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't be shocked, because Mahomes is good enough that he doesn't have to cheat.
He doesn't need it. Yeah. He's got way more talent in his pinky.
But I do want to say this: Tom Brady was good enough that he didn't have to cheat either. And he still cheated.
Tom Brady was the type of guy of, we're going to do absolutely anything and everything that we can to get the advantage and win.
Yeah, but it wasn't Tom Brady who came up with
You don't think it's possible that Patrick Mahomes could be that same kind of competitor?
It could be.
I'm not saying he is.
Yeah.
Even with all my Mahomes hate, even though I hate Kermit, let's be honest, he's great. He's great, right? But I'm just saying, to automatically exclude him and say that he's not capable of it, I think is not fair. I think
I'm just saying he doesn't.
And honestly,
the type, I wouldn't be shocked if he didn't do anything.
And I wouldn't be shocked either. But I think we need to find out.
But it wasn't Brady who coordinated all that stuff. He just went along with it. Someone else came up with it, and he didn't say anything. That's what Brady did. He allowed it to go on.
He's still guilty.
We need to check Taylor Swift's phone records.
But Dom's right. It doesn't
Hey,
matter.
Hey, if you find any nudes, send them to me.
Dom's right. You're still guilty.
I'll send it to everybody.
You're still guilty. It doesn't matter
boy.
if you like the fact that you knew and you let it happen. You're still guilty.
I
Like,
agree. But Brady didn't come up with the scheme. He just went along with it. Someone of the coach did.
But you
with
might
this
as well
lady.
have came up with the scheme. If
I
someone
agree.
gives you a cheating scheme and you do nothing
and
about
you don't
it, you're
do
the
nothing.
same cheater.
That's right. I agree.
Mhm.
100%.
Hey, what is that movie where he goes? He's a oh yeah, it was Billy Madison. He's a cheetah.
He's a cheater.
Cut his head off.
Something that's actually striking me right now too is this is how much of a soulless fan I am. I wish Green Bay would fucking cheat and win because it seems to not matter. Like I don't care if we cheated. I just want to win. Like
I care, bro. I care.
I don't. People
would
come
not
up
be
to me
a
and be like, "You guys
Packers fan
cheated." I'd be like, "But we won." I don't give a shit.
What
I-
they guys say
I-
yesterday?
Hey, that's funny.
Apparently, every
The
team
Jets
cheats,
are
though.
saying.
Every team cheats.
I'm the
though.
Raider fan, and the Raiders are like known for cheating within the confines of a game, right? Not out external cheating, but like getting any advantage they can inside a game, like stick 'em and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I don't want my team to cheat, dude. I want to.
I wanna win.
They already used that cheat, Joe. You guys already used that cheat.
Bro, if this was like high school sports, then I
You
don't.
guys
wanna
already got
cheat to
caught with
win.
stickum, bro.
If this was like kids sports or high school sports, I don't want to cheat to win. But dude, the NFL is a soulless league that doesn't give a flying shit about nothing. So if other teams are cheating and mine's not, and we're not winning, you might as well fucking cheat and try to win. I don't care.
I don't hate your argument. For me personally, I just don't want to see the Raiders do it. Like I want us to get to the top because
He's
we
like, you
earned
can't beat them.
We're good. We're good.
Yeah,
Not 'cause we did.
exactly. Look, you're talking about like, well, in an ideal world, I'd rather win without it. Everybody would rather win without it. But if other teams are winning and cheating and we're not, I'd rather us just cheat and get it over with, man. Like even
See,
the
now,
playing field.
I wouldn't go with the full blown cheating, but if we had coaches that were telling these guys to take, we'll say, some liberal hits and have kind of like how the Saints
Liberal.
got the freaking bounty gate,
You
I
said
would
some
be okay with
liberal.
that shit.
that already got handled, man. That
No,
already got
look.
handled with Sean Payton, Ken.
I don't want
As long as Patrick Mahomes is your first target.
Yeah.
Look, LeBron. So you tell me that if the Falcons magically got better all of a sudden and won a Super
Magically,
Bowl,
we ain't because Tom Brady already cheated us.
but that's why it would be magically you guys got better all of a sudden, and then you won a Super Bowl, and at the end of the season they're like, damn, there was some cheating going on in the Falcons like locker room. You telling me you wouldn't sit there and be like, well, everyone else does it. Screw it, we won, baby.
Dude, I'm down with the Falcons. I'd be like, yeah, what you mean?
See?
For life. But, yeah, I know
Bro,
that's
they're
not
called
gonna
the
happen.
Dirty Birds.
It's not in
They're
their
called
luck.
the Dirty Birds.
Yeah.
He's doing the dirty
Right,
bird
baby.
too. He won't give a shit.
I'm gonna rise up to the occasion to cheat.
Be a
I got
cheetah.
this one day,
They
baby.
cheat for
So,
everything.
yo,
in the world, dude.
Cheat up.
Yo, if the Raiders won the Super Bowl and then it came out at the end of the year, they're like there was cheating that went on. You tell them, you'd still be going around town being like, yeah, but we won. I don't care. We won, son.
Sometimes I question
Honestly,
when
dude,
people
I
don't
would be
lose.
I would be like really disappointed while I was kissing the trophy. I've been waiting my whole life to see
All
the
over your
Raiders
face,
punch
Joe.
the
I can see
party,
it.
bro. So I would be like, I would be disappointed in my guys, but at the same time, we're not giving the trophy back.
Like you would actually be disappointed. You'd be jumping up for joy that you won the Super Bowl, and you know what? You'd say, "Hey, it was worth it."
I'd be like Kobe Bryant, where he has like that somber look on his face because he's realizing this really just happened while he's hugging the trophy. It sucks, but we won.
Now, first thought going through his head is, when am I getting caught?
I'm on a panel with a bunch of Nicole Hardmans. That's all I know.
Now, if Mahomes does have anything to do with this, watch, he's going to magically get mugged and they'll have stolen his phone and his wallet. That way, then nobody will be able to investigate.
That would be, at least that would be a
His phone was
clever
lost
thing
in
instead
the
of, well, I just reset my phone every 6 months or whatever.
His phone was lost in a tragic boating accident.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
He got
It's
jumped
at the
by
bottom of a lake somewhere in Kansas City.
Oh, well, we do have a bit of combine news.
Oh,
Did
it's happening.
anybody else see yesterday, Chop Robinson running a sub 4.5 in his 40. That was freaking insane. I know he's only 250 pounds, but still that's pretty fast for a guy that size.
Yeah. Hey, Peyton Wilson ran a 4.44. The linebacker from he won the SEC Defensive Player of the Year, the Butkus Award. There's a linebacker, and he ran a 4.44, dude.
His official time is 4.43, so they gave him an extra second.
That's pretty fast too.
Did you guys know that they were using Patrick Mahomes' 40 time against like defensive ends and stuff like that? Did you see that?
And he was getting smoked by the defensive lineman.
And he said, I hope that they don't use my 40 times anymore. The measure.
all you could hear is the announcers for NFL Network saying, this guy's got kids.
Not everybody can be Aaron Rodgers, man. His 40 time was pretty nice.
Yeah. He used it to his advantage.
So I'm starting to actually think, now that I started telling you guys how I wouldn't give a shit if we cheated and won, I'm starting to think if they don't do something substantial about this, it might actually encourage, like realistically encourage the other teams. Like, hey, you're just not doing nothing about this cheating, so now I'm going to do, like all of a sudden I'm going to even the playing field. Now you have 32 teams trying to figure out ways to cheat without getting suspended for a whole year.
Oh, yeah, that's just like with the Deflategate shit that happened. If Brady didn't get brought down so hard on about having the underinflated balls, a lot of us Packers fans heard Rodgers saying he likes his overinflated, and he'll have the guys inflate it right before they hand it to the refs to check them.
The thing I don't get about that, though, is that's not really cheating. Everybody agrees that if you overinflate the ball, it makes it harder to throw. So what Rodgers is doing is giving himself a disadvantage, even though for him, he prefers it that way. It's a lot harder to catch a screaming football that's overinflated as opposed to underinflated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can agree that it's a disadvantage for most people, but with Rodgers doing it, there's got to be some type of air advantage he gets from it, because we all know how competitive Rodgers is. It's not like he's going to purposely put himself behind the 8 ball.
What it is it's the type of throw. It's your throwing motion. He flings the ball. He flicks it. So when you do that, he's able to get a much tighter spiral if there's more air in the ball. Whereas if it's underinflated, you have a better chance of throwing a lame duck, which I've seen Brady throw a million lame ducks that somehow landed in their hands. So it kind of makes sense that he underinflates the ball.
Well, shit, that's like Dan Marino used to say, that I'm not throwing darts at balloons, I'm throwing balloons at darts. There's your balloon for maybe Dan Marino taught him the trick.
He was Dan Marino's camp when he was a kid. Laces in.
So basically, the moral of the story is Desmond Ridder needs to overinflate his footballs, or else he's not going to have a job.
Nothing can help that guy. I mean, you hurt me now, man. Like,
so
I'm
the reports.
We're going to keep
them. Get your opinion, Dom, because the reports are now coming out that the Falcons are actually calling the Bears now about Fields, like full blown. Hey, is he available?
Yeah, I've been reading this for the past week or two, and
how's it feel?
You're welcome. Thanks for joining.
How's it feel to get traded to a bus to you guys?
Oh damn, Rob, you just hit me with that too. I'm just getting punched like he just needs a new environment, I believe. I don't know.
He probably does. I'm convinced the Bears don't know how to fucking develop.
They don't know how to handle a QB. They don't know how to develop.
Since Papa Bear died, their franchise has been crap, bro. Nobody knows what they're doing over there.
They were good before I was born.
It's horrible.
That's embarrassing right there. So I think he needs a new environment, and they're gonna probably draft Caleb, #1 pick. Like, they need a new QB and everything, but I don't know. Bears don't got a line. So like I said earlier to you guys, Bears don't really have an O-line to protect their quarterback. So Justin was running for his life.
That's a lame excuse, man.
Since I don't watch Atlanta too much, how good's your offensive line at pass blocking?
not good for like Desmond Ritter, I guess. But
they beat us this last year. Ken.
Yeah, they're decent. I mean, when they want to be.
I think you guys' offensive line was ranked like 18th or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, that's not bad.
For Russia was 10th. Russia was 10 or something like that. But I think that would be better if they get a better quarterback. You know, it's all about chemistry and everything. How you feel about your quarterback behind you and everything. Sometimes I think the NFL players just let their quarterback get sacked. I ain't gonna lie. They're like,
I can definitely see that some of the time.
You see it happen, like, but I don't know. I think we're gonna get Justin, hopefully, or draft. I don't know. There's Kirk Cousins. There's rumors of Kirk Cousins too. Like,
who would you rather have, Kirk Cousins or
Kirk
Justin?
Cousins? That guy is everybody praising him, but like, go take your girls and go chill with JJ. You get out of here, dude. Like, you want him. Like, I'm not a professional quarterback, but you want him for like you don't show up in clutch moments. I'm sorry, but you've been in the league for how many years and you haven't gone as I don't know. I can't say shit. So
Fields has never been to the playoffs, so I mean
he's young though.
He's never been in a big game other than
But
when you
can't show the consistency that you can handle the playoffs, no. I don't care.
What do you think about his fourth quarter stats? Did you see that clip of his fourth quarter stats? Did you see that?
Yeah, you see Desmond Ritter's fourth quarter stats?
No. Fields was worse, bro. Fields is the worst in the league.
Oh, I thought Desmond was. I thought he ranked like
do you have that clip? Do we have that?
Do we have that?
Yeah, post that picture of.
I'm gonna look for it. I'll find it on my phone.
Yeah, but
it's in the back chat, the Pack chat.
Yeah.
Hey, Isaac, I meant to tell you that was a great clip, bro.
That was amazing,
bro. Let me see.
I seen it. Yeah, I seen it in the chat, but
yeah, no, it's in the.
Let me see.
I don't know. We just need a new culture. I don't know. Like, it's just, and Raheem Morris is gonna bring it. So.
Okay, here. All right, fourth quarter stats for him. 61.3 passer rating, worse than the NFL. 16 interceptions in the fourth quarter, worse than the NFL. 55.8 completion percentage, worse than the NFL.
Oh, Lord.
That's what's going around. That's what you got. That's what you're getting. Understand, that's what you'd be getting. You're getting his, and it could be just because the Bears just don't know how to. I mean.
Yeah. Some people go to different teams and what's it called?
They have a research
and everything, have better years and all that. Better and he'll be home.
Yeah, no, he'll be someplace he wants to.
Too, right?
Clearly, he doesn't want to be with the Bears anymore.
Hey, Ken, I put it on the FTN show chat. The two graphics, you post those.
So you can pull it up.
Screen.
Okay. Yeah. Give me a sec.
Yeah.
Man, it's. I mean, look, man. A lot of guys like Goody's brought in a lot of guys who were shit on other teams and they turn around and are awesome, in our system. So
we had Campbell before he went to your team and
yeah, no, that's what I mean. Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying. So, but the Packers got that core front office that they don't care. We're going to build players. They got to win the mentality.
They have a development, a process, and
That's why. How many Super Bowls do you guys have in history? Like 5, something like that.
Yeah, we've been to 5. We've got 4 Super Bowls. We got 13 titles.
Yeah,
more than anybody.
That's winning culture right there. So you can't defeat.
Only Super Bowl has been lost to Cleveland. That was Brett Favre's second Super Bowl.
Yeah, we went back to back with Brett Favre. Lost to the Broncos, the John Elway Broncos and Terrell Davis ran the fuck all over us. Holy fuck,
man!
I was a little boy, I believe, when that happened. So I wasn't watching football.
That was a heartbreak, bro. That was a fucking crusher right there, bro. That man.
Elway was.
I just sat there deflated after that game was over, man. The whole like fucking 10 minutes of the fucking last 10 minutes of the game. They let them score, then they couldn't score. I mean, it was like fuck.
Elway was on roids.
That was like me during the 2016 Super Bowl. Oh, I was hurt.
It was heartbreaking. It was a crushing defeat. That was one of the worst.
Pretty bad.
Well, here's the first one.
Yeah, there it is.
Look at that.
There's your fourth quarter stats. Holy fuck, bro.
Oh,
that's just terrible.
That's very bad. And then
that's when you're supposed to be clutch. That's like a lot of guys' fourth quarters, their clutch time,
Yeah. Look at this second one.
we're talking about Zach Wilson, aren't we?
yeah, we are.
Look at this second one, though. Look at the second one. QB EPA play per quarter. Look at the fourth quarter. Look at Justin Fields. He's negative 31 out of everybody.
My God.
Oh,
That's bad, dude.
This is who Dom's excited about.
yo, calm down, man. It's better than, yo, I'm just saying, like, you can't have a quarterback who fumbles in the end zone and gets touchbacks all the time.
Yeah.
That's when you're supposed to be touched.
Terrible.
How
Like-
many fumbles did Fields have last year? 16 or something like that?
But were they in clutch moments?
I don't think that they
I
have
don't
clutch
know
moments.
all that much. Stop
Does
eating
Chicago
popcorn
ever have
games.
clutch moments? I think all their games they're losing, so like it's never a clutch moment for that guy.
Did they beat my team? I don't even remember. But yeah,
You
former
know
ran
what?
all over us.
Since you're talking about clutch moments,
Yeah.
some of the biggest things that I can remember in Fields' career is whenever they're winning and they go to the fourth quarter, they lose the game. Like every single time they have a lead in the fourth quarter, they blow it, man. Like that Lions game, I don't know how you lose like that. Well, how do you were up, what were they up? 13 or 14 with like
14, I think, yeah.
5 minutes left in the game or something like that? You lose? How?
Vegas, no. Vegas.
There we go. Hey, we got another Atlanta fan.
Oh yeah. Austin
So,
wants Justin Fields too. Super hard.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, man. I don't know, man. He's a little bit better than Ritter, so we'll see what happens.
See, that's what I'm saying. Y'all guys don't know. Like, y'all don't see Ritter.
But
Like,
this is what I was thinking. Maybe if we don't get Fields, I was thinking about Russ for like 1 or 2 years. I don't know how much money you would want. Get Russ and then draft another quarterback. I don't know. That's just another option that's out there.
You got to draft a quarterback this year.
I like
definitely
Jaden
don't want
Jaden
Russ right
Daniels.
off.
I like Jaden Daniels a lot, but he is a little slim, so I don't know how to.
But
I don't know.
to get Jaden Daniels, you guys would have to move up in the draft because he's probably going to be gone quick.
yeah,
Yeah, we got what pick 8? I think he'll be top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, the Raiders might move up and make him top 3. Like,
Yeah, the
People are-
Raiders
Yeah, I don't
definitely
know,
need a quarterback
Terry.
too.
Terry's a very, very intuitive person. He gets what he wants. He knows how to negotiate. So that's one thing I can say about
The
him.
Raiders are definitely going to get a quarterback too. So,
yep.
Yeah.
but I do like that Dallas Turner too. If we go defense,
Yeah,
I like
we
Dallas
need
Turner.
Turner. We need an edge rusher, honestly, too. We haven't had that since
I like Dallas Turner a lot, man.
and since we're kind of already in a Packers-centric panel here going on besides our two Atlanta guys, would you guys like to see Savage get a shot with this new defense? Or do you think the writing is kind of on the wall that we're moving on from him?
See, what I think, if y'all get Savage, I think y'all sign him cheap, right? But honestly, I think I might just move off of him. I think y'all can go a whole new direction.
We didn't save the dead cap by re-signing him, so I think it's over.
Yeah.
There's just no chance he's coming back now.
How much money would he want though?
Yeah.
I think that's the problem. Is he thinks he's worth a decent chunk, and Green Bay's just not gonna pay it.
And y'all
I think-
y'all really not known for spending too much on safeties, right?
No,
No, not really. I think Green Bay offered him like $6 million a year, and he didn't want that. And I was like, dude, that's more than you're worth at this point. Come on.
Yeah, and a lot of y'all's players
I thought that was a fair offer.
too.
Yeah.
I noticed that.
But so
Some
it
people
looks
just
I
like
saw the other day Rashawn Gary took a pay cut too.
yeah, and
They
Preston
just
Smith.
restructured. They restructured.
yeah. Dude, everybody's doing their part. Savage, for whatever reason, thinks he's the exception. It's like, bro, we could still have a good defense without you is the problem. If you want to be there and help, then be there and help. But
Yeah.
Got to pitch in for the team. Like, it's not all
I
about
might
you.
just move off of him.
I called it on our show. I said, this is HaHa Clinton Dix all over again. It really is.
Yeah.
It's the exact
Yeah.
same thing.
I'm
You just
gonna
need
give
to
it to you, Nick. You definitely called it out because anybody that's watched our show knows that I was pounding the table for him, but not if he's going to demand a decent freaking check. He's got to prove more of it. Granted, he showed a little more last year, but still, that's not enough for me to want to hand him a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isaac, what do you think about Savage? Do you want us to try to work something out with him, or do you want to just say screw it and move on?
Well, I think, if he doesn't command too much money, I wouldn't mind him being back. We got to look at what he wants and what his agent wants to, look into. If it's a little bit pricey, then we can just let him go and draft his replacement, but at this point he's a free agent. So, he can make whatever deal he wants. But if the price makes sense, then yeah, I would like to bring Savage back. We can put him in dime packages. I like how he is up front as opposed to being in the backfield making plays because he gets burned a lot. So if Halfley can get him in the system where, he's more in the dime nickel packages, then I wouldn't mind Savage back. But
well, that's my thing. Halfley's not beating the table to say, hey, we can't live without this guy. You know what I'm saying? He's not.
Yeah.
And I don't know that. Honestly, Savage, I think, is just he doesn't understand how much he's worth, and maybe he'll come back.
How old is he?
He's 27, I think. 26.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
not that
he's
he's not
still
young
young.
now, but it's just he thinks he's more valuable than he really is. I don't.
He's starting to remind me of Kevin King in a few ways.
Yeah.
Oh God, dude.
He can't
Yeah.
trust
Kevin
you
King
in
was so
certain
terrible.
packages, but he's great in other packages. So you're really like a specialized type of DB, but a specialized DB that gets burnt all the time and can only play the underneath routes, you're not worth more than what we just offered you. And Kevin King did the same thing where he didn't want to keep coming back on 1-year deals, and we didn't want to put up with his shit anymore. So at this point, dude, it's just like you're out the door, go to Atlanta.
yeah, like
Damn,
Oh,
dude.
fast,
Yeah.
Go to Atlanta.
Hey, we got
Like,
a good pick.
what's
we got,
called-
we got Jesse
and
Bates.
and I wouldn't say
Yep.
yeah, I wouldn't say it's a Barry problem either because he was doing the same
Oh.
shit, getting burned in Pettin's defense. So it's Savage. The writing's on the wall, kind of for him for Green Bay. But if he can come back with a short deal, like maybe a couple years, and the money makes sense, then Green Bay should just bring him back. But if it doesn't make sense at all, if he's trying to command too much for what his position is, and if he tries to play the leverage game with Green Bay because we don't have a safety basically on our roster other than like a 4-stringer, then he can just walk.
Well, it's also priority. Like, look at the guys that we're trying to bring back. You still got
Yes.
Nixon, you still got
Yes.
Ford, you still got Owens. So to me,
Yep.
even
I think we bring back Owens.
I think the lowest on this totem pole right now would be Yosh Nijman. We could do without him at this point. I don't need him back. But Savage is right barely above Yosh Nijman. Like, we could do
Yeah.
without him.
Yeah, we really can. Savage, he only proves that he can be effective in one area, which is I don't think LaFleur or Goot looks for those type of players. They like two-way players that can do multiple facet type of things on the field.
Kind of like that
And
Nixon guy.
if you're only specialized in one little area, then you're not fit for this team.
Give his money to Corey Ballantyne. Bring him back, man.
Yeah.
He was solid.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
Ballantyne a lot. He really
Ballantyne
showed
was-
up.
Doing pretty good at corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, whenever we needed him or Valentine, they both stepped up like beautifully.
Yeah, because
So
Jair was out a lot. Jair was down a lot, man. Those guys filled in a big time role this year.
I love what Jair said. Sick my young dogs on him.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, and that's why I love having Jair on the team because he injects that attitude in with the defensive backs.
He's not being traded, Rick.
Yeah, get that out of your head.
and now you have Valentine, man, and Valentine gets in people's face, lets them know, like, not today. Dude, I've seen him multiple times this year get in someone's face and be like, dude, you're messing with the wrong one. I'm that dude.
Yeah, I've been seeing players on podcasts saying that
He
Green
talks
Bay's
much
like
shit.
young guys just clapping at us. You know what I mean?
That was,
I love that.
Was that Amon-Ra St. Brown? No.
Yeah,
was someone,
I think it was
wasn't
Amon Ra or someone.
I think there was someone on the Bears that was like, dude, there's this young guy, man. He just kept talking shit. He's like 37, and it was Valentine.
Yeah. Valentine honestly reminds me a lot of the other 37 that we had that was a little unheralded that turned out to be great. Well,
Yeah.
really good is Sam Shields. Granted, they play differently, but I'm talking more about their trajectory. And Sam
And that's-
Shields used to like to run his mouth a little bit too. Granted, nowhere at Alexander level,
I don't want a cornerback who don't run his mouth. What the fuck?
No, you need a
Come on, man.
cornerback.
Run your fucking mouth, bro. Then wide receivers run their mouth. You know JJ's out there talking.
Yeah. All the good ones do. Like fucking, what's
I guarantee
Jair
Devontae talks shit.
Alexander, Sauce Gardner,
Yeah.
Jalen Ramsey, they all run their mouths when they fucking
Yeah.
cover you.
Get in that head.
But it depends how you run your mouth, because if you run your mouth like Jalen Johnson, that's the wrong way to go about it. Like, you're gonna talk shit after you guys just got dog walked? Really? Like, well, they're still bums. It's like, dude, you just got whooped. Shut your mouth, dog. Like,
Another prime example, Richard Sherman. I'm the best corner in the game.
Don't try me with that sorry ass receiver.
Crabtree.
you know what? This
Deion
money could be
Sanders.
utilized in free agency. Like,
Yeah.
if we
Deion
accumulate
was the
enough
biggest
money
shit
in
talker.
free agency, you could get someone like, and I know all Packers fans are like, oh God, stop talking about this dude. But it's a realistic thought. Maybe we utilize money that was supposed to go to places like Savage and Yosh Nijman, and we start putting together a package for someone like Micah Hyde.
There was a time to get Micah Hyde. I just don't like his age and his injury history now. I think we could draft a player that could be like a Micah Hyde. As much as, Rick pounded the table about this, Cooper DeJean would be a really good player. That
And
would be a
Cooper
Micah
DeJean,
Hyde type of player on it.
Cooper DeJean just got done saying he does want to play with Lucas Van Ness again. He
Yep.
said he would love to come to Green Bay and play with his teammate again. So that actually be pretty cool.
Well,
He could be
hopefully
like
that'll
our
give
Nick
Rudy
Collins,
a
you know
little
what I mean?
extra incentive to go up and grab him.
Yeah, he could be like our Nick Collins, you know what I mean? Fucking type of player that we've been missing
we
for a
need
long
another
time.
Nick Collins. We need a
Yeah.
Nick Collins.
Yeah,
Because
so
look at Walker, how nasty he is, and I still think we get a free agent that we can line up next to him. I mean, come on.
Like I wouldn't mind Micah Hyde if it was like a 1-year deal and it was a really cheap deal, but like he's 33, he's got an injury history now. And it's like
He's like Charles
in
Woodson.
Green Bay, he doesn't fit the Green Bay
Hey, what
mold.
about that boy that just got released from the Saints? Y'all can pick him up. I think his name's Marcus Mayer.
Oh yeah. I just seen that too, where he got released.
He's pretty young too.
Yeah, he's a young guy. And then another guy, Packers are looking at Xavier McKinney.
Where was he at?
Xavier McKinney, I believe, was on the Bills, and he was released. He's a young guy. He has pass breakups and all types of things.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you go younger to that position, that'd be good for that new defense too. Because y'all got a lot of young guys too.
Yeah, that's the direction our GM and coach are going.
Y'all went very young on offense too. Y'all got a lot of young offense.
We got rid of a lot of our old.
I really like that Jaden Reed dude y'all had. He was busting my Falcons ass when he was playing y'all.
Oh yeah, Reed is going to be one hell of
cover that motherfucker, dude.
He's a stud.
Reed's a beast.
He's a
He's the first. Yeah, he's the first rookie to have over 850 yards. 15 receptions. Like he had like some record like that. And
another dude that was surprisingly good for y'all was fucking Bo Melton. I never even heard of the motherfucker.
Bo Jackson Melton.
Bo Jackson Melton.
99% of Packers fans hadn't heard of him either until he.
I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
Bro, now they're gonna give him a good contract too. Watch.
And you know
Another
what?
guy is Malik Heath.
I read this factual report that came out that said it's beginning to look more and more like Christian Watson's running out of chances to prove he belongs in Green Bay.
Yeah.
You know,
we know, Nick. We know about that.
I'm going to send all the Green Bay fans after you, Nick.
Look, man, Watson's going to get one more year, man. If he doesn't come out and produce this next season, bro, he's dog beat.
If he would just stay healthy, dude, I think he'd be all right.
Right? No, that's the thing, bro.
Really good athletic.
He's got the talent.
Player.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I honestly think it was our strength and conditioning
plays.
coaches on our team, bro. I mean,
You
so
seen
many
his
guys were
grade
with
that came
nagging
out?
injuries, hamstrings,
And he's another dual facet weapon. You know, he can run the ball and catch. So you know what I mean? Like
kind of like I hate to say it, but Percy Harvin was doing the same shit. He was playing a little bit of running and then going deep.
Yeah, I would compare him more to Curtis Samuel. You know, Curtis Samuel,
That's
you need type of things like a Swiss Army knife type of player.
Yeah, I like those kind of players.
Healthy.
Man.
Yeah. And then Gutekunst loves those type of players. So does LaFleur. Those are the guys that
Yeah,
can
like
do
that Keyshawn Nixon
things.
y'all had. Y'all put him at like wide kick return, corner, fucking running back one time.
Yeah,
So-
we can put him everywhere.
So we're
Jaden Reed the same way.
we're getting
That's what
close
we
to
want to
time.
re-sign, I think.
We're getting close to time, so I want to bring this up real quick. Yesterday, I read that Green Bay went and talked to Audric Estime, and I gotta
Really?
tell you, man, yeah, it's starting to look like we actually might go for this dude. Like, it's feeling like Eddie Lacy vibes, to be honest. Like, going out, watching this dude, talking to him, everyone's like, it would just make sense. And then all of a sudden, we get our bull rusher, man. I would be
Bro,
ecstatic.
that'd be so badass.
Dude, they're saying Estime is pretty damn good. I mean, I watched him a little bit at Notre Dame. He's pretty quick for a big dude. He runs between the tackles. He ain't scared to hit. He reminds me of like a much better Bijan Robinson.
You know, a guy that I saw during the combine yesterday was Braden Fisk. He comes from FSU. You know, he's on the defensive line. That guy just killed the combine. He had a 4.7 a 40 time as a big, defensive lineman, and he was just killing the obstacles where he just speeding through, tackles and everything like that. Like, that guy could really be a difference maker on some team.
We're gonna need another defensive lineman eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
They even they put him side by side with Brian Murphy, and he was beating out Brian Murphy. And Brian Murphy is highly regarded right now.
Y'all could always sign Dean Lowry back.
Yeah,
Remember when
he
Vikings
kicked
fans were like, "Oh, you guys just don't know how to use them"? I'm like, "No, bro.
there's just no way to use them.
No way to
Yeah.
use them, bro. You figure it out? There's a manual or something?
Yeah, that's like if someone telling us like, "Well, Josh Jackson, you just didn't use him right." Like, no, dude, that dude is gonna be trash no matter where he goes, man.
to give credit to Lowry, he had one good season with us, and
It wasn't even that good.
even then it wasn't.
And then it was talent around him that made him better. So, I mean, come on.
Like what we were saying was he had a good season for him. That was the problem. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
since
that
Good for him, not for the
was
team.
the year we got Preston and Z. You know what I mean? Preston and Z made our defense a lot better than what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, since we're talking about the D line, do you think that Van Ness will be starting defensive end in this new scheme to start the year? And if not to start the year, do you think he takes over at some point? And we'll stick with Rob on this one. Hold
He
on,
won't
Isaac.
start.
What do you think?
He won't start this.
Man, I honestly, bro, I think he's gonna. Van Ness already showed that he can handle being a starter. I don't know why he didn't work his way into it towards the end of the season. Honestly, he's probably going to be starting, but I think the new DC's got to see him. They got to go through training camp. We got to see if he's got what the DC sees, but I don't see how he doesn't. He's got a motor that don't stop, man. He's constantly on the go. I mean, he chased guys down. I mean, he had solo sacks. I mean, rookie season, bro. He had a great year, I thought.
I think it's perfect. I think it's perfect for him to start because, if you look at a lot of his stances, his hand is in the dirt anyways. So, that's exactly what the 4-3 is, and that's what they're going to be, doing for Van Ness. So, Van Ness, this is perfect for him. And Hafley wants that aggressive defense. Van Ness, that's the perfect player to use for him.
All right, Nick. Now let's go for your thoughts on it.
Well, it's not that he can't start. It's not that it has nothing to do with the capability. This has to do with money at this point. Like, you're going to put guys like Rashawn Gary and Preston Smith before you're going to put Van Ness, and that's going to be this year because of how much money they're making, because of their contracts. Once Preston Smith, we have that out in his contract, I don't see him really coming back. I don't see Green Bay bringing him back anymore, and that's when Van Ness is ready to start full blown. So
They just restructured him though, Preston.
No, they restructured Gary. I don't.
Yeah, they did.
They
did. Preston too the next day.
It doesn't matter if they restructured him though. There's still that out after this year in his contract. So it doesn't matter if there's a restructure.
All right, so you're saying he's going to be out next year, and then Van Ness is. You're saying Van Ness is still a year away.
I could definitely see that.
Because I mean, if Preston's here for 2 or 3 more seasons, then you're saying that's why I'm saying I think he gets in before then. I think he's going to crack into the lineup this year.
Yeah, if Preston stays longer, I could see Van Ness taking over more of his snaps. But the fact is this year, in my opinion, it has to do with money in these contracts. You're not going to pay Preston Smith the amount of money that you're paying him this year just so him to be a backup like that. There's just no way. And Preston Smith actually played pretty decent last year. So
I was happy they brought him back. I was concerned they were going to let him go.
So what I could see is Van Ness taking a higher workload and a bigger percentage of snaps this year, but I don't think that he's going to be the day one starter. I just don't see that this year.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, how about the opinions from our Atlanta fans?
Yeah, he played well against the Falcons, so I don't think he's going to start. I'm going to agree with Nick because you're paying all that money to Preston Smith and Gary, but he'll work his way in, like Rob said, and eventually – I don't think maybe near the end of the season he'll be a starter, but not when you're paying those guys. Those guys are good. So, like, for how they play and everything and they click, you can't put Van Ness in the beginning of the season.
And here's another reason, too, because Van Ness is a pretty good multi-tool when it comes to the defensive line. He's going to share snaps inside and outside. So, I mean, it's very possible that day one they decide, you know what, let's try Van Ness instead of Wyatt. For a game or two, see how that works. I could see something like that, but Wyatt's on a rookie contract, and he's kind of steadily making progress, whereas Preston Smith is at his peak right now. So, for me, he's going to start eventually. Like, there's no doubt in anyone's mind this guy's going to be our starting defensive end at one point, right? Just not today is all. Just not today.
Yeah. I think what happened too is like how Rashawn Gary did when he split snaps. You know what I mean? Did half the snaps and then half off the field, and then also good. Depending on Hafley's system, he can probably put them in different packages. That'll be effective. So Van Ness will definitely have a role with this. It won't be as much as a starting role, but he'll have a role where he'll be on the field a lot.
He should be, man. He's earned it.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't mind seeing some packages with him, Gary, and Preston on the field, or even if you pull Preston out, because I do like Wyatt too. I think he's a good pass rushing defensive tackle for us.
I'm expecting we're going to have some big packages where we got all our best pass rushers on there for an all-out blitz. I mean, another
thing too with this 4-3, it makes everything. It changes the dynamic of what we can do. The possibilities are now endless. You could make Preston a true outside linebacker now instead of a D end. I mean,
that's what I was just going to bring up is you could have packages where you drop either Preston or Gary in at the linebacker spot and have everybody else. And you could even still rush the son of a bitch too instead of dropping him out into coverage.
Barry's been setting this up for us this whole time. He had Preston Smith guarding wide receivers so that he could be an outside linebacker.
And also
that's what Barry's problem was. Yeah, he was just too many years ahead of the curve.
Yep. Hey, also remember what Van Ness.
He was light.
Also remember with Van Ness is that he's not. I mean, he in Iowa. He wasn't even starting. He was the guy that was backing up a couple players. I mean,
that was because of the coach philosophy, though. It wasn't because
that was due to seniority, but still. I mean, Van Ness is used to that role, so you know what I mean. It's not like it will affect his play.
I see where you're going.
Yeah, I don't.
He's a team player. He's a team player. He's all about
he's a team player. Doesn't affect his play. He actually, he excels even better. Like I mean, if you look at his numbers in Iowa, like he's beating out the starting guys that are in front of him.
He took like 80% of the snaps. He was only a backup because the coach had the philosophy that all seniors start.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that translates to us too, because he doesn't have to.
Yeah, like you said, Nick, the money's before the.
Yeah, my whole point. Yeah, my whole point is he doesn't have to start. Like he can be that role, and he still can, be effective.
You could not put Preston Smith in a backup role. You couldn't do that because then all the fans every day would start saying, what are we paying him for then? Why is he here? What are we doing? It wouldn't make sense. And just like we were talking about with these suspensions and all the cheating and stuff, dude, it all comes down to money. Money is always number one. That's the only thing that matters.
Money drives
first and
everything.
foremost.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Money drives everything.
So that's why my explanation had a lot to do with money in the contracts, because if Preston Smith didn't have the contract that he had, I think Van Ness starts day one this year.
Yeah,
100%.
you're right.
All right. Well, it's about that time, guys. I want to thank everyone for joining us and everyone for tuning in and watching. And have yourselves a good day and go Pack Go.
He has time. He's got him. Left side, Dobbs is there. Leaping grab. Touchdown. Touchdown.